Hey everybody, welcome back to another video here at homerecordingmadeeasy.com. And this time out, we're going to take another listen to another one of these Antelope audio plugins. I've been doing a few of these last few weeks. You could probably check the archive and check out the Antelope audio native plugin playlist. This time out, we're going to listen to the SSL GBus Compressor, and we're going to compare that again to a universal audio of the same kind. We've been doing that in the last few videos. We're going to see how do they sound? Do they sound different? Which one do we like better? I don't know. But before we get started, you're going to like, share, subscribe, and then you're also going to go out to homerecordingmadeeasy.com, because if this is your first time here, you don't know that I have a free mixing course on that website right on the homepage. It's my gift to you. It's worth $100. Download it today and make sure you subscribe. And if you stick around to the end of the video, I'll give you something else. Okay, so here we go. So last several weeks, we've been doing a look-see at these Antelope audio native plugins. They have about 40 plugins in their bundle. I'm demoing them for the next couple of weeks. So I'm not a sponsored video, didn't pay for them. They don't know I'm doing these videos. I'm just checking them out because a few of my followers had asked me about them. I've never used them before. And prior to recent, you've had to have an Antelope audio interface in order to get their plugins and use them as part of their DSP platform. That has now changed. You can get them natively. You don't need to have one of their audio interfaces. Same goes for Universal Audio. Universal Audio, you had to have an Apollo interface to run all their plugins on the DSP chips. Now they have what's called Spark, their membership, where they have now native plugins. Now this particular plugin right now, as I sit here and record this video, is not part of the Spark native package. You have to have a Universal Audio Apollo to run this particular SSL bus compressor. But UA has been porting them over to the native side of things on a pretty regular basis, and it's only a matter of time before this plugin is also available in its native form. By the time you see this video, it may already be, so check their website. So, out of all the SSL bus compressors that I have in plugin format, this is the one that I like the most, and we've done other videos in the years past where we've compared them. I also have a real, over to my left, you can't see it, a real SSL console, and in that console, we have this bus compressor. So I'm very familiar with how the bus compressor sounds in hardware, and I can tell you whether they sound close to the hardware and if they're reacting the same. So what we have here, let me just close these for a quick second. We have a quick little mix here that I did with the kit plugins Neve BB105N, the Neve channel strip from Blackbird Studios. I just kind of dialed in a little bit of EQ. There's no other compression on this mix at all. It's just thrown up, quick balance, little drums, percussion, bass, acoustic guitars, electric guitars, and lead vocals and background vocals. And I threw on these two plugins. So let's start with the Antelope Audio. We'll keep this one in bypass here, and let's see what it sounds like. Here we go. So let me go back to the beginning.
I know the season's right for change. It's changing all around. I know the reasons you've arranged. They're tearing me down. Where is the peacefulness of mine? Where will my heart come back to life?
Okay, so the way I have this set up is the same way I would set it up on my console. It's a pretty standard setting, a good starting point. We're using a 10 millisecond attack. We're using a 2-to-1 ratio. We're using a fast release, and we're just hitting 2-3 of compression. That's pretty typical. Sidechain filter set to about 30 hertz. We're on 100% wet dry. We're on 100% wet, so we're getting the full of the compressor. Now, the one thing I noticed right away with this, and I've noticed this on their other plugins as well, if you go back and watch some of the videos, you'll see that the VU meter does not, it seems a little janky. Like it seems like it's kind of sporadic, and it doesn't respond the way the Universal Audio one does, and it doesn't respond anything like the hardware, my console. Just watch the needle, how it kind of moves here.
I'm alright as I pick up the pieces that are left of me.
You'll hear it, you'll see it kind of goes smooth and it kind of just jitters, and kind of goes smooth and kind of jitters. I'm not saying it's affecting the sound. This is something that I've noticed on all of their plugins. I'm not really sure why that is. I'm running a Studio One here, the latest version 6.2 on a Mac Studio M1 Max. So I don't know why. I don't think that has anything to do with it, but just so you know that.
All right, be away from you, and I'll be fine. Cleaning up the corner, put it back in order. You know I will always have this too. A little piece of you.
Okay, let's hear the Universal Audio one in comparison. We'll start with it off and bring it in. So the first thing I noticed right away is the meter, again, it's just point of reference here. The meter responds exactly how I expect it to and identical to my hardware. So this is accurate in the way it's responding. This is not. I also feel like I hear a little bit more squeeze in that kind of gluey thing in the low mid area that I don't seem to hear on the Antelope here.
I know the season's right for change. It's changing all around. I know the reasons you've arranged. They're tearing me down. Where is the peacefulness in mine?
Where the vocal kind of comes a little bit forward. I don't get that sensation here in the Antelope.
It's right for change. It's changing all around. I know the reasons you've arranged. They're tearing me down. Where is the peacefulness in mine?
It's a little more subtle. Let's see if we can, again, let's not just look at the meter. Let's use our ears. Let me see if I could dial in a little bit more compression on this Antelope to see if I could kind of get that SSL thing that I'm used to hearing.
When will my heart come back to life? I'm alright as I pick up the pieces that I've left in me. I'm alright being away from you, and I'll be fine. Cleaning up the corner, put it back in order. You know I will always have this too, a little piece of you.
Yeah, when you compress it a little bit more, if it sounds a little bit better. But again, you could even watch the meter, how it's just all over the place. But I'm compressing a little bit more here. Now, again, I don't know, because I'm not jiving with this whole way this whole needle is moving, that when I'm setting this compressor and I'm using my ears, I'm usually watching that needle tickle about 2-3 dB. And because this is not responding correctly, in my opinion, it may be that I'm getting about the same amount of compression as the Universal Audio now, and that's why it sounds much more similar. But because the meter is inaccurate, again, I don't know. We should be using our ears, but just pointing that out.
How could we let this slip away, slipping through my hands? How can the darkness blind the day, bring back the light? I know the season's right for change. It's changing all around. I know the reasons you've arranged. They're tearing me down. Where is the peacefulness in mine? Where will my heart come back to life? I'm alright as I pick up the pieces that I've left in me. I'm alright being away from you, and I'll be fine.
Okay, now it sounds like it has that SSL thing here. Let's go back to Universal Audio in comparison.
You know I will always have this too, a little piece of you. How could we let this slip away, slipping through my hands? How can the darkness blind the day, bring back the light?
It just seems to me like the UA, my ear is so used to listening to the console, and this sounds more like the console compressor to me. It just sounds like it responds a little bit more similar, well, almost identically to the hardware, similarly. You know what I mean? When I turn it on, on the console, I'm used to hearing a certain thing, and I hear that certain thing with here. Here, with the Antelope, I hear it, but it's different.
I know the season's right for change. It's changing all around. I know the reasons you've arranged. They're tearing me down. Where is the peacefulness in mine? Where will my heart come back to life? I'm alright as I pick up the pieces that I've left in me. I'm alright being away from you, and I'll be fine. Cleaning up the corner, put it back in order. You know I will always have this too, a little piece of you.
Yeah, it's even in like the congas there, which are kind of in the background, the ham slaps on the congas. I feel like with the compressor on this on the Universal Audio, I feel like it brings out the slap of the hands onto the skins a little bit more. It's a little bit more percussive. I don't feel that way with the Antelope. I feel like it's still kind of buried.
When will my heart come back to life? I'm alright as I pick up the pieces that are left in me. I'm alright, being away from you, and I'll be fine. Cleaning up the corner, put it back in order. You know I will always have this too, a little piece of you.
Yeah, it's not that the Antelope sounds bad. It doesn't. I think what's throwing me off is I can't look at this meter at all because it doesn't react right. If you just use your ears and you dial it in and forget what it's saying on the meter, which is what you should be doing anyway. But when you're working with hardware and even sometimes with plugins, like with something like this, it's kind of a classic move, right? With the G series bus compressor. You throw it on there, you do that 10 millisecond attack, 2-to-1 ratio, auto release, and you just hit it so the needles just kind of kiss and boom, 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 boom. And that visual kind of dials in the sound, right? Where this, it doesn't do that, but you can kind of achieve very close to the same thing just by forgetting looking at the meter and just using your ears, but the settings may be different, and that's okay.
I know the season's right for change. It's changing all around. I know the reasons you've arranged. They're tearing me down. Where is the peacefulness of mine?
Yeah, see, this sounds better to me. It just does.
Where will my heart come back to life? I'm alright as I pick up the pieces that are left in me. I'm alright, being away from you, and I'll be fine. Cleaning up the corner, put it back in order.
Yeah, you know, the other thing I noticed too at the UA, it feels like the vocal gets a little more airy. It feels like it opens up a little bit more. On the Antelope, it feels like it closes it in.
You know I will always have this too, a little piece of you. I know the season's right for change. It's changing all around. I know the reasons you.
Yeah, it's like the vocal doesn't change at all here, but here it does.
Arranged, they're tearing me down. Where is the peacefulness of mine?
Hear that? It opens up a little bit more here on this Universal Audio.
Where will my heart come back to life? I'm alright as I pick up the pieces that are left in me.
Yeah, this has that sound. This gets close, but it's not quite there. It's not quite there. Again, it's not that the Antelope sounds bad. It doesn't. But again, if I had to pick one over the other, I'd take the UA without a shadow of a doubt. And that's what I've learned. I think this is the third or fourth video I've done where I've compared Antelope to Universal Audio, and every time I've chosen Universal Audio. Not by a mile. This one is probably the starkest difference. When I did the Fairchild and whatever we did before that, they were a little bit closer. The 1073 EQ, this is a bigger difference. The Universal Audio sounds just like my console. This sounds similar to my console. It's in that ballpark. It's got that fork. It's got that thing, but it's not exactly the same. To what my ear is tuned into, having a real one to know what it is. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Have you used Antelope Audio stuff? Again, this is my first real exposure to them. And again, so far they're okay. I don't hate them, but I don't love them yet. Maybe we'll stumble across a couple in the near future. Let me know in the comments below if you use their stuff and what's your favorite SSL bus compressor. Now, I know some of you are going to say, can you compare it to the Waves? Can you compare it to this? Can you compare it to that? No. You guys can go demo all of these plugins for absolutely free, and you should do this yourself. I'm not going to demo it and compare them against every plugin under the sun. They all are going to be similar in sound. It's all a matter of personal taste. You should go do that and create your own video. So anyway, again, I want to thank you so much for sticking around till the end of the video. Once again, go out to Home Recording Made Easy, get that free mixing course. Once you take that course, if you want to take one of my other full-fledged, fully training courses on the website, we have everything from recording to mixing to mastering to EQ and compression and parallel compression, everything from beginner, absolute beginner, all the way up through advanced. If you want to take another one of my courses, one of the paid ones, I want to give you a 25% discount coupon code. That coupon code is YouTube25. Put that in at checkout. It'll take 25% off anything on the website. So until the next video where we take a look at some more of these Antelope plugins, I've been Dave with HomeRecordingMadeEasy.com. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I'll see you guys in the next video.